What's going on, Eurovoxers? Hello, Andy. Hello, Clara. How are you guys?
Hey.
We're good.
Wonderful. So it's been 5 months since Tel Aviv, but there's still something to talk about. What are we talking about today, Andy?
OMG, well, it's the news this week, actually, that Mahmood and Soldi has become like the most streamed song ever on Eurovision song ever on Spotify. So it's overtaken Loreen and Euphoria like in the past week, which is huge news, I think.
Huge news, absolutely. What do you think about this, Clara?
I think it's great for Eurovision. It shows that Eurovision can actually further your career in music instead of, like people weren't sure if Eurovision would be beneficial or detrimental for their career in the past years, but this comes to show that it can have a huge impact. It's been proved with Fuego, now with Soldi. Euphoria was a really big European hit and probably also crossed the Atlantic. All of these hits have probably crossed the Atlantics. You're from Canada, so do you feel that it's happening too? These songs are crossing over?
Certainly. Well, one thing that we were talking about before we started recording was that earlier this year, Eleni Foureira, who of course came second last year, recorded a song with Snoop Dogg, and of course Snoop Dogg is huge. So certainly, having success in Eurovision, even as we've said in times before, it's not always about winning. Sometimes it's just about going and performing your heart out and making an impact in that way. But also too, looking back, I know that Gina G with Ooh Ah, that song charted here. Ooh Ah, a little bit more.
Oh my God, I have so much party vibes now.
What a party now.
Definitely. But let's go back to Sanremo, because what I find most interesting about this story is how it all began, how there was some controversy as to why Mahmood was selected to represent Eurovision. So Clara, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Mahmood was took part of Sanremo, and part of how he won was because the jury pushed his song over the popular voting, which ultimately went to Ultimo, and that spiraled a big controversy because politicians said that was beneficial for the elites. I don't know, this huge, big drama. And of course, his heritage was discussed, his sexuality was also brought up, and it all created this confusion around the song. But I think it also helped to get the hype up.
One thing that has also been interesting is, despite the success in both Sanremo and Eurovision, there are also awards given to Mahmood. Mahmood won the Marcel Bezenson Award, the Composers Award, which is given to the song. It's voted by the composers that also take part in Eurovision, and he won a similar award for Sanremo. Andy, what do you think it says about Soldi as a song?
Well, I think you guys all know what I think about Soldi as a song. The fact that I'm just going to pick up on what Clara said about the controversy surrounding the entry, because you have to say testament to Mahmood, because there was a lot of controversy and there was some negativity in Italy about him being selected. And I think, first of all, for an artist to kind of let that go over their, I forgot what the saying is, over your shoulder, over your head.
Yeah.
To let that go over their head, still go and represent your country on that stage, facing that negativity, which he maybe faced before Sanremo, I'm not sure. So, kudos to him, really. In terms of Soldi winning the, I can't say it, Marcel Benthicon.
Bezenson?
Yeah, that one. In terms of him winning the award, I would have been surprised if he didn't win the award. To be honest with you, because I think the song Soldi, I love the song. It's about his roots, it's about his upbringing, it's about his what some people call his culture, but I don't know if it necessarily is his culture, but obviously he's half Egyptian, his dad was Egyptian, and I think it was a very, very clever song which had lots of different elements to it. I mean, my favourite part of the song, apart from the clapping, which obviously everyone loves, was kind of the bridge or the mid where he was singing some lines in Arabic, and I think that's probably my favourite part of the whole song. And it just shows what a diverse country Italy is. Whether some people might not like it in Italy, but it is. I mean, it reflected modern Italy, and that's what I liked about the song and about him.
I think it also reflected the actual cultural reality of Europe, because Europe has a big diversity right now. And the fact that Mahmood was able to incorporate all of those elements in one song and make it European and Middle Eastern or different cultures merged in just one song, that gathered so many votes of so many people, and the appreciation of the jury, I think it speaks volumes of how the future of music should shape.
Yeah, excellent points made all across the board. And talking about the future, the big question that I have on my mind is, what does this mean for Eurovision? Bringing it back to the contest, do you guys think that going forward, seeing the kind of momentum that really followed Mahmood leading up to today, do you think that that's going to raise the bar for future entrants?
I think so. I think the bar has been raised over the past few years. Anyway, Eurovision has gone from being, a platform for lots of kind of cheesy pop and entertainment music to just good music that you would listen to on the radio and you wouldn't know it was Eurovision. And I think artists like Mahmood have been part of that, and he will be part of that. Also, I think people are going to want to come second, because if you look, you've got Eleni last year, you've got Mahmood this year. They've both got they've got huge careers now, but only bigger careers, I think, coming up. I mean, Mahmood has just recently released Barrio as well. I hope we get to talk about Barrio. I love that song. But I think not only Mahmood, but if you look at some of the other songs this year as well, I think the bar is already being pushed up, and probably will continue to be pushed up. And it's becoming what it should be, an entertaining music contest that is about the song as well as the singer and the performance.
Absolutely.
If we remember about Mahmood's performance in Eurovision, it was actually quite simple. It was him, 3 dancers, backups, and like some screen projections. There were no elements on stage that outshone the song. It was the song itself that worked.
But do you remember there was negativity from some about his staging of the song as well in Tel Aviv? But it did work, and obviously it worked because he almost won the thing. He came second. There was a point in Tel Aviv where we thought he was actually going to win with a Duncan. We're booking our tickets to Rome or Milan. But yeah, there always seems to be some negativity around Mahmood, and I just think it's jealousy, because I think he's amazing. I love the guy.
And picking it up about the Mahmood staging, that came second, and what came first was a song, a good quality song played on a piano, and that was the whole staging. So we have on first place that, and on a second place we have a very modern urban track, also very simply staged. So really, it doesn't take that much to create a good but a good, well qualified or good for qualification formula.
Absolutely. And I think that's really an exciting aspect of Eurovision in the 21st century. This fact that although we have all this technology and all these really cool things that we can do, the songs that seem to be recognized above all are the ones that stand out because of the music, and everything that surrounds it can certainly be an aid, but it's not the make or break thing that results in a winner.
We have to talk about Barrio as well, because even my voice is going squeaky at the thought of the song. There was so much hype around the song being released. It's literally on repeat on my. We're talking about Spotify. It's on repeat on my Spotify, and I think what a tune for Mahmood to come back with after. Soldi's hard to beat, right? And I would never say that he's beaten Soldi because it's such a great song, but this is a great follow-up. And you know what? I love that he's mixing the cultures again, because Clara, you can correct me on this, but to me, there's like Spanish influences in the song, and it's dark, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, there's definitely a Spanish flavor to it, like the guitar intro, the Spanish guitar, and then the percussions. I don't know if it's like the claps or some castanets or something. There's definitely a Spanish flavor to it. And we know that Mahmood recorded a Spanish version of Soldi, so he's also, I think, trying to appeal to this Mediterranean Spanish audience, or maybe he is not doing it on purpose. It's just it's what he does. He brings music and sound from different cultures together and makes it an urban track. And I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do.
That's what makes him a great artist.
Yeah, absolutely. And to me, it seems like it's both of the things that you said, Clara. It's one that he is kind of naturally interested in fusing all these different styles because, of course, Soldi was a fusion of so many things. And if you also listen to Gioventù Bruciata, it also has all those elements in different songs. And I remember listening to it the first time and thinking that this is really hard to pin down as any genre, or even like I couldn't even pick 3 genres. But also too, like I really like that idea that he has incorporated Spanish singing in, you know, there's the Spanish version of Soldi, as you said. There was also an English version of Soldi as well. And my hope would be to see Mahmood go global. As soon as I heard Soldi here, I was thinking, you know, this is something that would be fantastic to go beyond the Italian community, because they do actually play it on the Italian radio station here. But I would love for it to be played on Top 40 radio. And for me, the fact that the original track is all in Italian has nothing to do with its potential success. I think it's just a good song that deserves to have, you know, a global impact. So we've been talking about the recent success of Mahmood. We want to know from you guys, do you know an artist that you would like to see at Eurovision from one of the participating countries or from anywhere else that you think could have a similar success? Let us know in the comment section below. Be sure to like, subscribe to Eurovoxx, and let us know what you think. Until next time, guys, see ya.
Bye.
See ya.